Hello and welcome. Today I have a really good friend on the show. His name's Mr. Julian Torres. How you doing, Julian?
I'm doing good, Bobby. I'm doing good, my friend. How you doing?
Outstanding. I'm doing great. We've known each other for how many years now?
Dude, since 2007, so we're like rolling on 8 years.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Long time, man. Of a consistent friendship. It's never like we just stop talking to one another. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sometimes the stretches are long in between, but always find a way back. It's all good.
That's yep. That's a fact.
Awesome. So for the listeners, this is the first time that you're on the show. You want to tell them anything about yourself?
Yeah, man. I'm a real good friend of Bobby Reed. We've been friends for a very long time, and we served in the Marine Corps together, and been friends ever since. Well, I'm a Marine myself. I'm a veteran, and yeah, Purple Heart recipient.
Awesome. How did you get that Purple Heart?
Dude, I was in Afghanistan and in 2010, coming back from a patrol and stepped on an improvised explosive device, a mine, an IED, whatever you want to call it, man, and lost both my lower extremities, man. The right is above the knee amputation, and the left is below
Yeah,
the knee. Yeah, man.
it's a hard time, but you're doing good now.
Oh yeah, man. There was some dark times, dude, but it's all good now. You know what I mean? And with with the help and support of my friends and family, dude, like you, and made it out on top.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Last month you went on quite an amazing little adventure,
I
from my
did, man.
understanding.
Yeah, dude. Some may say it was quite an adventure.
Uh,
Some may say it was stupid. Some may say it was a little reckless, but nonetheless, it was definitely an adventure. More like a quest is how I like to view it. And yeah, man.
did you have to go like throw a ring into the volcano of Mordor or anything?
I had to deliver the ring,
Ah,
and then yeah, it's on its next journey along the way now. So yeah, man. I
awesome.
like the yeah.
So
Uh,
so
so
uh, so where'd you go?
I left from LAX, man, and I went all the way to Kilimanjaro Airport, Africa.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah, man. So
So who took
and
you
then
who took you to Mount Kilimanjaro? Let's start out there.
uh, the nonprofit called the nonprofit called the Heroes Project.
Who runs the Heroes Project?
Uh, it's ran by a man by the name of Tim Medvitz.
So how did he approach you? Like
So
how did you get introduced to him?
yeah, man, dude. So it's kind of a funny story, man. But there's so the Heroes Project. It's a nonprofit 501(c)(3) that puts injured service members on top of a, the tallest mountain on one of the continents. And
Hmm.
so it had taken a couple of other of my buddies, like 4 or 5 of them, and I reached out to my buddies and I was like, hey, man, like I want to climb. And so they reached out to Tim, and Tim reached out to me, and then that's how it all kind of fabricated from there.
So when did you start training for this quest?
So like we got in touch in May, and we started training in June, and then we left in October.
No. So what did that training look like?
Dude, it was pretty gnarly, man. Dude, at first it was just like, all right, like 3 days a week, and then by the end of it, 3 days a week with 1 day climbing, and then it slowly turned into like 6 days a week, 1 day climbing, and then yeah, man, it was pretty gnarly, dude. It was a little bit of everything. It was like swimming, yoga, weightlifting, um, like circuit training, and then climbing.
Hmm.
So it was a little bit of like a full body workout. By the end of it, I was like flipping tires, dragging tires, dude. It was pretty gnarly.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when you got hooked up with this guy, uh, something I wanted to ask you is: you come home, you see your wife. How does that conversation go? Like you say, just come out right and say it. I'm going to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro.
No, man, dude. It was like I talked to her before I talked to him.
Okay.
So I was like, "Hey, yo, Ashley, I'm thinking about doing this. What are your thoughts and what are your concerns? And do you think we can pull it off?
Hmm.
And then so she was like, "Yeah, green light it." And then I reached out to him and followed up with the emails and phone calls and got it done. Yeah,
So,
man.
was there any special equipment that you needed because you're double amputee, or
So the only equipment I needed were like custom made trekking poles,
okay?
and that was it. Yeah, like the legs that I did it in are the legs that um uh I walk in every day.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Now, I've talked to a lot of people about you here in Connecticut, and everybody has the same reaction, just quite an inspiration and all. And talking to people
Oh,
about you and showing them that CNN clip, uh, telling people, hey, there's this guy who climbed a mountain with no legs.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
he's got legs there, but they're detachable.
But they're miniature.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, so you're heading to Mount Kilimanjaro. You did all your train up, all your workups, and everything like that. Anytime during the training that you thought to yourself, "Man, I might have bit off more than I can chew. I don't know if I can really go through with this."
Absolutely, man. And I like to refer to that part as like the abyss. You know what I mean? Like the unknown. Do I still have it in me? Do I still have it? What it takes? Um, yeah, man. It was the whole time, dude. For like for an example, there's a mountain over here called Mount Kilimanjaro, and um, I was supposed to do this training evolution. It's 11,000 foot mountain, and so I was supposed to do this training evolution this weekend. And it was supposed to like totally nuke and rain and snow. It was just really bad inclement weather, and I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I have a hard time walking on wet asphalt. You know, from a sprinkle in San Diego. I don't know if I can handle this. On a mountain, and nonetheless, worked with the courage to still go through with it. And like I just took the mindset of like, hey man, uh, you're gonna pass out, win or lose, and so just give it, just empty the tank and leave it all on the mountain, man. And uh, it's just so happened that we got maybe like I don't know, like a quarter mile from camp on San G, and uh, it did exactly what it forecasted, man. It was like raining, and it was like the trails turned into like little creeks, and um, I made it, man. I had the time of my life. I was laughing, you know what I mean? It was like
Hmm.
typical grunt Marine, like, hey man, if it ain't raining, we ain't training. And yeah, man, it was just like that's where it was, um, and then of course like on the mountain itself, like in Africa, I was like, how am I going to do this? Like my legs started to like get sores, and because it took 11 days, dude. So like the skin breakdown and just the muscle fatigue, dude. I was just like, man, screw it, go balls to the wall, like pass out, win or lose, and um, the only way you're going to get off this mountain is either on your own accord or somebody's going to carry you off. But
Yeah,
you're just going to keep walking, Julian.
yeah. Kind of like the drill instructors always tell us, the fastest way out of this place is to
It's to
finish.
get it. It's to get it done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is to finish. I imagine it's a whole lot different than that the Reaper on the Crucible in boot camp.
Yeah, man, because it takes about like 8 days just to get to the mountain.
Yeah, yeah. You land in Africa. Tell us about the trip there. You said it took
Dude,
8 days.
uh, well, it took. So I landed in Africa, man, and I was in town for like maybe a total of 24 hours, and then maybe more like 30 hours, and then we embarked, and then dude, the people there are amazing, man. Super nice, very very loving, very giving, very. I mean everything,
Hmm.
and yeah, man, it's just completely, dude, like totally different from what I heard from other people and society and the media from Africa. That was about Africa, like everybody says, oh, it's crazy, wild, people are mean, blah blah blah. I mean, I'm sure there are places out there like that, but the place that I was at was perfect. I'd go back.
Nice. Are you planning on going back? You planning on doing this again?
Uh, Climbing,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
to
yeah.
kill,
Or
climbing,
not
yes.
exactly Kilimanjaro, but are there some other mountains that you have your eye set on?
Um, no, but I definitely want to just keep climbing, man. Just getting out, dude. For me, dude, like the mountain um, was a an opportunity, man, to like reconnect to what we were like in the Marine Corps.
Hmm.
So, yeah, man.
Awesome, awesome. A lot of times the trip up is hard, but also the trip back down can sometimes
I'm,
be quite a challenge too. How was that?
dude, I'm glad you brought that up, man, because a lot of people don't think that, dude. Like a lot of people don't think that. Oh man, like oh cool, you made the summit, but they don't realize that you got to walk all the way down too. So you got to walk like 19,000 feet down
Hmm.
as well. So it's like, dude, it was hard, man. Dude, it was super hard. Like when we were coming down, it was almost like a straight vertical drop, and night had fallen, and then not only that, on top of being walking at night, we had like a complete whiteout, so we couldn't see, in our headlamps. Like it was kind of like if you were driving in the rain and you hit your high beam zone, you just can't see because of the glare.
Yeah, the light
Just
just scatters.
yeah, it's the same thing when you're walking and snow's coming at night. You can't really see, man, dude. So I had to like scoot all the way down my butt for like, shoot, man, uh, probably like the whole descend. You know
Wow.
what I mean? Yeah, dude. It was, the day itself ended up being like a 20-hour day.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
ascending to the top and then ascending to the camp again from the top to the bottom.
correct,
Oh,
correct. Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. So yeah, 20 hours, man.
So you reached the summit. What was your thought? What went through your head at that moment?
Pretty surreal, man. Pretty surreal. And like it's kind of like the best way to describe it is like if you ever try to describe what it's like to be high,
Yeah.
like you can't really describe it, man. Like you just have to live it, and it's like, um, I mean, it's really like just far out, man. I mean, there's nothing up there, dude. Nothing up there. I mean, I was above the cloud lines, dude, and like it looked like I could just walk out and into forever on top of the clouds, man. And the glaciers to your left, and you're just like, whoa, dude, that's a glacier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's just, I mean, it's pretty bitching, man. I mean, but like as such is life. You know what I mean? Like when you reach your goal, you reach your summit, so to speak. You're only there for a little bit, man. And it's more about looking up, looking at the terrain, looking at your surroundings, man, and like just really appreciating the process and appreciating where you're at along the process. And those are where the nuggets of knowledge and wisdom is learned. I think not on the summit, but on the way up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
man.
it's responses like that make it very inspirational and very. I tell people about you and all and show them all the stuff you've been in. Uh, yeah,
Well,
have quite a lot of respect from all everybody over here that I show your stuff to.
Bobby, you appreciate the nice warm comments, man. But there was, like in the end, man. I was just really happy for the opportunity.
Yeah,
For the ability. And as well as like having let the mountain be able to be there and letting myself throw punches at it. And she took it. She was throwing blows at me too, but nonetheless, man, we were good.
that's awesome. So how was the reception when you got home? Like what did your friends and your wife and everybody say to you when you got home from this?
Oh, dude, like it was crazy, man, because it was pretty. It was like boom, jump right into like daddy duty again, and take JJ to school the next day, and yeah, man, they were just like, yeah, dad's home. Oh, by the way, let's get back to work. So it was cool, man. I mean,
Yeah.
Ashley was rounding the horn for finals, dude. So it was like I pretty much gave her a high five, dude, and she went to studying, and then JJ and Licia, like JJ, he's in school, and so I had to take him, and And Alicia was like, "Hey, Papa's home," and hung out on the couch. And then of course, it was just crazy, man. And
Yeah.
part of the process too is to get the legs worked on and rehab, get the body fixed and all that stuff, man.
So it's an amazing story, and thank you for sharing that. Did you want to tell
Oh,
anybody anything else?
um, yeah, dude, it's just like probably like the biggest thing that I got from it, man, is you have to like you have to put yourself out there, man. Is probably like the biggest thing is like you have to put yourself out there. You got to try new things, and even though if it hurts physically and emotionally, like you gotta do it, man. You gotta. I mean, we're only here on this earth for such a short time, man. I mean, you gotta maximize it. You maximize your life, and you gotta max it out like a credit card. And you just gotta do it, man. Like screw it, and you go balls to the wall, man. Like when you do it, you gotta surrender, and you gotta like let yourself go and submit to it and trust it, and trust like the baptism by fire, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think that's what I'm trying to come across. That is what I'm trying to tell you is that when you're in the process, like forget about it and just do it and surrender. Because I mean that's the same thing that I had to do. Like there was a part like on day like 6. The first day we get up, it was a 4-hour day. The second day we get up, it's like a 10-hour day. Third day we get up, it's another like 15-hour day. And then we had a rest day, and then on day 5, another like 18-hour day, and then day 6 was like a 20-hour day. And so I wasn't even near the mountain yet, and so I was just like, at this point, like my leg had already opened up on my right side, size of like a 50-cent piece,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, shoot, man, like I don't know if this is gonna work out or not. And then I eventually said, dude, just keep walking. Just like forget about that, man. Go until like you can't go no more. Like you're in the middle of the mountain, dude. Like you're no closer to the road than you are to the summit. So you have to just keep walking, man. You got to just finish. And in worst case scenario, like you'll get driven off, dude. But you have to just surrender and like forget about the what ifs and the unknown, and you just know what you're capable of, and you know what you're made of, and you know what you've done in your past, and just rely on that, and so it's just that's it, and that goes to like all the veterans out there, man. Like like pull on those anchors that you've done already in the in the uniform services, whether it be Marine Corps infantry, Army, Navy, Air Force, whatever that may be. Like you'll be able to pull on those anchors of what you've done, is far more than what the average college student has done or the average person has done.
Yeah.
And so those experiences, I guess you can say like are your reputation, and you're not trying to survive off those reputations, but you're trying to live up to that reputation because you have a standard of living, you have a standard of character that you have to live up to. When you take that standard and you apply it, and you give yourself, and it gives you the fuel to take another step. That's where it's all at, man. So surrendering yourself and be like, I can't control nothing. All I can control is what I bring to the table, and getting it done, man.
Yeah. That's a really good, awesome place to end it. Thank you. Thank you again for coming on. I really look forward to having more of these recordings with you.
I would love that, Bobby.
Yeah,
I'd love that, and
they won't all be this serious, but I think it'd be a really good, real fun time.
it would be, man. It would be, and yeah, man. I wish you and your family, man, and all your friends, dude, the warmest holiday regards, man, and stay warm out there in Connecticut.
We'll do. We'll do. Thank you, and same goes to your family and everybody. Miss them all.
Yes, sir.
Outstanding. Well, that's a good place to end it.
Yep, man.
Thank you again, Julian.
Anytime, brother.
And to all the listeners out there, thanks for listening.